I think I found my love in entrepreneurship at hospitality. I love it. You know, I have fun with it. It's not a high stressor to me like it is to everybody else. I always know how to figure things out. So, you know, my strong cues was figuring out how to run a trailer, figuring out how to cook all the food, figuring out how to prep all the food, figuring out how to store all the food, figuring out the systems, figuring out how to deal with people because you're going to have to deal with employees now. You know, it's hard work, but I also believe that every single thing we do is hard work. If you're willing to hustle and you're willing to figure things out, these things do work. My name is Dewan Matthews. I am 32 years old. My business is bringing in over
Damn,
$1 billion
32 years
in
old.
sales a year. And here's our truck. It's a smaller truck. It's a 16 foot, but like I said, this thing pumps out 7 figures a year.
Damn.
Goodies is definitely the most profitable business I have. Next year, I don't know how the economy is going to be doing. Goodies is the only one I could really see that's going upstream. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't even know how to turn the trailer on when it first started. At that time, you know, some of the battles that we did have was not running out of food. We was open up at around 7 and be done at 3 in the morning. We fed around that time around 50 to 75 people, but we sold out. We just kept opening up to sell out. Houston is crowded during the day. And I'm like, I don't want to be competing with all those guys when it comes to food. And then also, Houston is a party city. If we're going to be a late night food option, we want to be in cities that basically party during.
This guy's smart. Hey, this is awesome. This is the stuff I love reviewing because it shows as a black man, and he's only 32 years old, that he is determined, work hard, work ethic. This man working 7 p.m. to 3 a.m. in the morning, 4 days a week. That's not easy to do. He has four different incomes, four separate sources of incomes: junkyard service, his 16 properties, the food truck, and his cleaning service. He's smart, determined, and he's intentionally making sure that he is secure in his future. This is awesome. This also should show that there's no excuse to make it in America. There's no excuse for black people, the black culture. I don't want to hear anything like that. This mindset that we have as a black culture need to stop. He should be celebrated. He should be someone's role model. He's a role model. We're going to continue. This is awesome. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you comment below, share this video, and don't forget notification bell. Let's go.
Those times. So that was another reason for, you know, picking our time zones like that.
Damn.
So we're getting at the club crowd, and our price point is pretty high. But again, you know, people are looking for that convenience after the club meal. And at that time, you know, once we start doing around that 20,000, you know, a week mark, our problems was, you know, figuring out how to store a bunch of food and making sure that we never run out of food.
Damn, outside of Philly.
Growing up, I didn't have, you know, any mentors or anyone I wanted to be like. I just had a bunch of people that I did want to be like. I got into a fight with a bunch of kids on a college campus. There was weapons that was used in the fight, and I was one of the people who used the weapons.
Damn.
They slapped more years of probation onto me, and that just led to me going down the hole of just going in and out of the system.
Okay, he went to college after that. He had some troubles, DUI. Before that, got into a fight while he was in college. Managed to get himself together and still graduate about 4 years later. Let's see what else he has to say.
Kind of get discouraged because all of your friends that are graduating with you, you know, they're all going into the corporate space. You just try to get out there and try to fill out the applications. I dumbed it down to where I was like, I'm going to fill out 10 applications a day.
Damn.
I probably was doing that method for about 2 months until I say, you know what, this is just not going to work. I was just looking for the cheapest industry to get into. And, you know, I had at that time $500, so I just took that and I just went for it. The startup of it was just going to the dollar store, buying cleaning equipment. As long as you can get some, you know.
Okay, this man has shown accountability. I didn't hear him one time blame anyone else for what he got himself into. The fight, didn't say it was someone else's fault. DUI, didn't say it was someone else's fault. Own his accountability. Now, on top of that, went back to school, then graduated, started applying to 10 jobs a day, 10 applications a day, and just said, you know what? Let me just start my own business. And he started a cleaning business. He did research from what it seems like, went to the dollar store, spent $500, $500 to start his cleaning business. And I'm assuming it led him to the success that he has currently now. This is an awesome story. This man needs to be applauded. Where's my applaud button? There's got to be somewhere here. There we go. There we go. This is what I'm talking about, Black people. There's no reason to make excuses. If you get in trouble by the law, own up to it, hold yourself accountable. Stop blaming everybody else. Stop blaming racism and the white man and systemic racism, blaming Trump and whatever you blaming. Slavery back in the day when you weren't even slaves. Pick up your shoes, tie them, go to work, try to figure it out. This man's 32 years old. He's 32 years old. He's making $1 million in revenue from his businesses. This is awesome.
Some bleach, and some hot water, some spray bottles, and some rags. You can turn this thing into a, you know, business.
Okay.
We had a vendor that gave us cleaning contracts, but she needed somebody to come do the clean outs. So, you know, me and my partner invested in a pickup truck. And then later, like 2 or 3 months after that, we just bought a dump truck. And then once we got that dump truck, we got the biggest job of our lives, which was a Snipes. It was in Center City. We got the contract to literally come in there and clean out all the stores because everything was flooded and stuff. And then they let us actually keep the shoes.
This man's a grinder. He went from cleaning places, houses, whatever, commercial places, to actually getting a dump truck to get trash out. And then he went into investing in real estate. Just one small thing led to another, and it keeps compounding. And you got to give this guy, his work ethic is phenomenal because he ain't lazy. He probably wasn't getting much sleep, but he had that drive. He wanted to just make money. He wanted to go to corporate, just get a job, 9 to 5, couldn't do that. So, hey, I got to make ends meet. Let me figure this out on my own. And now look at him. It's a mindset, people. Mindset. Just get away from that negativity. Start investing in yourself mentally, physically, emotionally. Get away from that. Start reading books that'll teach you how to do things like that. This is awesome. I'm going to start doing this once a week. Reviewing stuff like this once a week, not reading once a week. Come on, people.
I didn't want to sit my money in a bank. I knew they weren't going to give me any return on any of my money. You know, it was COVID and everybody who was selling their homes. A lot of these houses I bought, you know, they actually had tenants in them. So I was like, okay, I just need to find a way to just build cash flow while my money's sitting and it can grow. And then once I learned that method of basically you can borrow against them, I just borrowed against all the single families I had, and I started buying triplexes and duplexes. Typically, when we started Wonderful Cleaning, we didn't have any credit. We didn't understand credit. We didn't know how to do credit. And what we learned is that if we could use the bank to fund our businesses and pay the bank back off of using other people's time, then we would walk away with a free asset.
His Wonderful Cleaning, junk and removal, and his Dawson's properties earned $920,000 2 years ago. This is amazing. This is awesome.
It was at the point where, like I said, I feel like I reached my mark, my success, you know, in Philly. I wanted to get out of there.
Wait,
so
that was in Philly?
Houston.
I thought that was all in Houston. He did that in Philly? He did this in Philly, man. Philadelphia, they can't say too many nice things about Philadelphia, especially because I'm a New York Giants fan. But he did this in Philadelphia. It's not a safe city.
I sold one of my houses and then basically tried to come out here to start a club, and that didn't work out. So I actually lost like 173,000. I'm always looking for the next thing. That's when I came up with food. The late night food market here is not that good. They have a lot of tacos. I said, you guys don't got no chicken at the 12 o'clock. It came to my mind. I was like, you know what? If I can figure out a chef to basically cook this food, I can like get into the food industry.
This man saw a need that no one else is thinking about. And especially being, and him being black, wanting chicken definitely provided a spark in another business venture. it's it's not racist if it's true.
Me, I don't know nothing about food. I was really intrigued by Chick-fil-A's model and really intrigued by Chipotle's model. The money isn't in food. The money is in the service and the quality and the systems that you produce. That's where you reach your success in the food industry. What are they really selling? Is it convenience or is it food? And I feel like to be able to walk through a line of a lunch line situation and walk right out the door and you're like, all right, I paid $20 for this, right? Some rice, some chicken. I think that's genius.
He's right, because you just look at McDonald's. People aren't going for, it's convenient. McDonald's has probably, they're like the founders of the best model for fast food. And then Chick-fil-A, I mean, do I love Chick-fil-A? No, I like Chick-fil-A, but it's so convenient when you get to the line. Now they got the employees waiting outside. And at the first time I saw that, I was like, what the hell's going on? But they got them waiting outside taking your order. And there's no true drive-through window anymore. You go to your Chick-fil-A, there's no drive-through window. Chipotle as well. Chipotle is quick as hell. He is a smart man. He just saw a niche. He saw a void and he took advantage of it. That's what it's about. His mindset has that urge, that want, that drive that he has, wanting to find a job, and he was disappointed because he couldn't find a job, and he just decided, let me work for myself. That led him to all these other business ventures that he probably couldn't fathom when he was in college. He probably didn't even want to be a businessman, but I got to make ends meet. And he hasn't mentioned any kids. This man's living the life.
We shot probably a 2-month rollout, marketing rollout, and we hosted 3 events. A friends and family, a soft open, and a free community event. And people were so amped and going, this restaurant is coming, this restaurant is coming. But no, we're just a food truck. And that, catapulted our success for when basically once we opened the doors, we kind of hit the ground running. We act as a restaurant. We prep out 1 day a week, which is typically Tuesdays.
I'm not gonna lie, looking at that food made me hungry. I'm hungry. And the food truck idea is genius too, because I've been to food trucks. I don't think I've been to one food truck that wasn't delicious. Every food truck I've been to has been better than restaurants I've been to. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's the time of the day you go to the food truck, or I'm hungry. I don't know. You guys let me know. Family, friends, am I wrong on this?
To Restaurant Depot or either Gordon's 1 day a week. On the average, we do about 300 customers a week. If it's a good club night, it'll go up.
Did you read this? This man said he reduced his work schedule to 2 hours a day. It's back in 2025, last year. This man's working 2 hours a day, and his his businesses generate $1 million in revenue yearly. And it's probably more than now, because this was a few months last year that they did this review. Harrison Bone.
majority of my time I'm doing a bunch of emailing, sending out invoices, paying invoices. Right now I got a flip going on, so dealing with contractors and stuff like that. I do a lot of things from my phone. We kind of figured out how to do a lot of things, mobile, and that's kind of how I work my businesses. I don't really need to be stationed to run these operations. Honestly,
Smart.
ideally, I'm going to sell every single company by next year and go goodies, a sports bar, and a burger shop. Goodies to the moon. I keep saying that, and that's where we're going to stand behind. If you're willing to hustle and you're willing to figure things out, these things do work. And you don't need to be a qualified chef. You don't need to be a qualified cook. You don't need qualified people to have this thing to work. So just work hard, study systems, and keep praying to God, and things will work.
You hear that? Work hard, study systems. He also said, pray to God. If you're religious, that's what you do. If you're not, then do the other two. But this is motivational. I'm motivated by reviewing this. This is amazing. And the fact that he didn't make any excuses for his downfalls when he was younger, because he held himself accountable and he picked himself up, and now look where he's at. And he's just trying to get bigger and bigger, which I applaud him. And I think he's gonna do big things, even bigger things and better things. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you were motivated by this. I surely was. This was amazing. This is an awesome video. I think I'm going to be doing this weekly because we need to purposely highlight where Black entrepreneurs are doing things, whether they don't have to be entrepreneurs. They can be working for corporate America as well, but they're making good money, and they're showing you that this whole notion about racism and keeping you down. No, this man is from outside of Philly, and look where he's at now in the world, at life. And it's just about your mindset, what you do with your 24 hours a day. Are you gonna mope and just go to work for 8 hours and complain about not making money, play video games, go chase women? I mean, I'm talking to the men on that right now. Or are you gonna work, be intentional, figure out systems like he said, be financially literate, which he is. This is awesome. And let me know what you guys think. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, make sure that notification bell is on. I'm your host, Terrence Manning. This is my show, My Thoughts Uncut, and I thank you guys for watching. Peace.